Hello lovely people and welcome to my next tutorial series. This time it's all about grass, and yeah, I prepared a little sheet here for you. Actually it's my reference sheet as well if I want to paint grass and I don't really know which kind of situation I want to cover. You see that painting grass depends on what you are aiming for in your painting. It can be very detailed if the grass is the main actor or it's in the front of the screen, something happening with the grass. Or it can be very low on detail if it's in the background, if you are painting a meadow in the back and people standing on it. There are many different ways of painting stylized grass, and I want to show you one way which is the most difficult for me, and maybe I can cover the other ones in other tutorials as well. For now, yeah, enjoy! Alright guys, let's see what we can do. As I showed you in my other videos already, I like to start with a basic ground sketch. Just to keep my composition in mind and explore different ways of how the painting could or should look like in the end. So what I do here is picking a brush I created especially for this situations. It's a hard round brush with around 80% of opacity and 20% of flow. And just sketching here and there some random grass straws. Only thing you should keep in mind here is that the grass should look dynamic. Not just growing from down to up in a vertical direction. Grass is normally tilting in direction to the sun or to the light source, and also tilting in depending on weather conditions, like wind for example. So we also don't want to tilt the grass in just one direction, because it looks like a strong wind is hitting the meadow or the field where the grass is growing. Just create some variety here. Some grass should grow more in the right direction, some more in the left, maybe some grow straight up. That is something we can explore in this phase here. So I just wanted to show you I have one piece of grass, one straw going to the right, in the middle right, then we have some little ones to the left and to the right as well. It should create a all over pleasant dynamic. That's all I'm going for here. Alright, I think that's enough for our basic sketch, so let's block in some colors. I normally start with the ground, because having separated straws of grass doesn't help me much here, so I create the base for now, choosing a quite dark green tone, because we can brighten up it in the end anyways. And now adding the different straws for now on a different layer. We can merge it later if we want. So yeah, take care a little bit of the shape of the grass. Like I like to create the shapes of grass straws like that they are a little bit more thin in the down and a little bit more thick in the up. It creates even more dynamic. Okay, that looks cool for now. Yeah, here and there tidying it up a little bit. I see some gaps I didn't want here, so just painting them over and creating a few spots here and there also on the ground. And now we could add our first light color. So what I do here is grabbing the lasso tool again and selecting just parts, maybe 80% of one grass straw. Focus on one direction, that's important, and a few also on the grass, on the ground. And then we grab our round soft brush, make it quite big, and choose a brighter color. I would think let's go more in direction of a brighter green or yellow, like we have on the ground already, and see what it's doing with our painting. Normally that effect is quite good already. You can see here it's not that boring anymore, but I did a mistake, so I needed to merge the two layers, the grass straws and the grass ground first, and then create the clipping mask on top of it so it covers both. Yeah, that's good for now. Don't worry, the detail is coming later. It will not look until the end like this. For now, we need more depth. So let's create another layer of grass in front of the straws we have already. So just picking our lasso tool again, shaping more straws in front of the other ones we have already. Different directions. Keep in mind that it should not look too chaotic. So in the middle, where our straws go to the right, the layer in front of it should not go to the left. That looks just very strange. There should be a certain order to the painting, to the way the grass is growing. So again, I pick a very bright green here to give a first light color to our clipping mask, to the grass we painted in front of the other straws. And you see how much it does already with the feeling of 3D, of depth. So let's add a few more little grass parts here and there. And the game is always the same actually. You paint on a dark ground, so pick a brighter color and with a soft round brush and low opacity softly paint in the bright color on the dark ground within the selection you made already. Also quite important is that you are not covering the whole selection with your brush. You don't want to have the sharp edges in the down where it's growing from the ground. That's why I use the smudge finger tool, to soften out those hard lines, hard edges I had before. For that you can also use the soft brush again to just cover up the edges on a new layer. Like I do now. Yep, looking good. I'm happy with that for now. A little bit of fine adjustment in between, just when I see, for example, my smudge finger hit a grass straw, which I didn't want to be that blurred. I just shape it out again. That's why it's important that we keep our layers of the different depth layers of grass for now. Don't merge everything too quick, because you might need to do some selections or some adjustments on a certain layer. So what I do now is creating very thin selections on the edge of certain straws, choosing a little bit colder and a little bit darker green color, and fill these lines. What I do here, I create the illusion that my normally very flat shapes I create with the lasso tool are seeming as they are real 3D objects, because we have another dimension with the shade. Understand? The light is hitting from the left on the grass straws and creating a very thin layer of shade to the side where the light is not hitting that well. So what I realize now is that I'm not very happy with the grass ground right now. So there needs to be some sort of other texture than just a plain color. So I'm just experimenting here what looks good. I grab my lasso tool and create certain shapes. in a way that it looks like a little bit of zigzag pattern, because a zigzag is still a stylized kind of grass, right? So we fill it up with the color, and in the end, if it looks too intense, too sharp maybe, all these things we can adjust later. Yeah, not bad. So, what I do now is separating the grass straws a little bit more. I create a selection with the lasso tool and think of which straw should lay in front of another straw. And the one behind, I select, create a sharp contrast between a little bit more dark green and a little bit more bright green, and create the illusion that one straw is in front of another one. Again, that's very important if we create only shapes, or most of what we create is shapes with the lasso tool. So I created a new clipping mask on top of our very first layer with a big grass straws in the background, and just paint a brighter color a brighter color in the up, so that it looks like it's get hit directly by sunlight, by sun rays. What also does wonders is creating a thin rim light in a almost yellowish bright color. Just create a new layer mask if you want, or paint on the one we created already, and then having here and there some smooth outlines, rim lights. Yeah. Looking better already. Be careful not to overuse the rim light, because it looks busy very quick. Such a bright highlight color always attracts the viewer, the eye of the viewer. And if you have it all overall, the eye doesn't know anymore where to watch, where to look at. So what I did here is creating a new layer mask and picking a texture brush, choosing the black color, and everything I paint black now will disappear. So it's like an eraser, but you can just paint white on top of it again and it will appear again. So that is a very useful way of erasing without actually erasing your painting. So I just want to blend my grass ground a little bit more into the ground I prepared already, that it doesn't look like this sharp edges. So picking different colors here and there, some brighter greens, some darker greens to use with a soft round brush again. The option to blend my grass colors into the soil colors and into the brown. And also go here and there and just smudging a little bit, blending a little bit, just making it feel more unified. Cool. For now. We can merge that again. Yeah, and again, I'm not too happy with the in-between parts, in between the straws. So I would like to find a way how to separate them more. What we can do is creating some shapes with the lasso tool again and painting in some very, very light, darker green tones. In the end, using the smudging finger, using soft round brush, all these tools are helpful. There is not a certain order you need to do what, just trial and error, right? Exploring here and there a little bit, make it look like grass. If you grab your smudge finger, make it very tiny size and strength very high, around 80%, you can kind of, how to say, you can create new straws out of the paint you have already. Same thing works, of course, also with the ground, because the smudge tool has the characteristics that it's blending very smoothly. Normally you want that, but sometimes it's also very fun to use a very strong smudge finger to create not too sharp, but sharper edges and shapes within the painting. Especially when you drag one color to another with a smudge finger, with a hard smudge finger, then you create a line from A to B. And in this case it looks like grass, and that is something I figured out. It's very nice. So we have a new layer mask here with the overlay settings. So I chose a very bright green or yellowish color and go with very low opacity all over the places. I think like they could use some, or they could need some more brightness and some more intensity. I really love the overlay effect because it let your painting pop in the different sections you would like the viewer to look at. So I feel like there should be a little bit more density of grass. There are too many. There's too much space between the different straws, so I just add with the lesser tool here and there a few more shapes, a few more grass straw shapes. Like I told you already, using the soft round brush, adding some color, and yeah, make it look a little bit more dense, a little bit more nature. So another thing what I like to do sometimes, especially with leaves and plant material, is cutting out shapes that not every leaf looks perfect. Among a few grass straws you have maybe one or two, they are not looking perfect. And that creates variety, and it makes your painting look more interesting. Let's add some more detail now. What I do is grabbing my soft round brush again and adding some, actually I don't really know how that is called, but add a few dark lines in the middle of the leaves. Again, to make them look like real objects, and not photorealistic objects, but at least not just some shapes with color gradients in. So it's just a little bit of detail, but in my opinion it does already much. I want even more straws. I feel there are too many areas where there's nothing growing. I don't like that, so I add a few more straws. You know the process. If you ask yourself how I decide which color I choose, a bright one or a dark one, it's most of the time actually just how I feel. So I feel like there's a lot of dark going on in the ground already, so maybe the brighter color is a better option here. But I could be totally wrong, maybe dark could also look good. But I don't like the one in the middle. It's creating too much contrast between bright and dark, so I think I will just delete it. Oh. So, I'm sorry, grass. So now I would like to create a little bit more contrast in between the different layers of grass. Like here, for example, I created a selection between two grass straws to darken the area behind it. So it looks like that the grass in front is throwing a drop shadow. It's dropping a shadow to the grass straws in the back. Again, merge everything you like to, create a new clipping mask, and continue. Okay, what also most of the time works very well is adding a new clipping mask, put it on color, and then just changing the color in a few places. Here, for example, I like to make the dark greens a little bit more blue. Not too much, it should not be such a high contrast between colors, just a little bit. If you're not happy with what happened, just erase stuff again. Or like I showed before, create a layer mask and soft erase them. But I think that's going in a good direction. I like it. Hope you do too. And if so, you know what to do. Press the like button, subscribe to the channel, because I'm planning to create lots of more tutorial videos regarding different materials and speed paintings. So if you don't want to miss that, I would recommend you to stick around here. Okay, now we do something a little bit more different. We create a new clipping mask, set it on soft light, and fill in the whole layer with one color. The color doesn't matter much. Now we go to filter and use the noise, adding some noise, and scale it up a little bit so it doesn't look too detailed. So we have this nice noise all over our painting. For me, sometimes it's a little bit too sharp, so I like to soften it a little bit. And now what we do is creating a layer mask again. Fill the whole mask with black. And now if we grab our soft round brush and paint white on the black of the layer mask, we kind of let the noise appear on the spots we paint, and that is amazing. So we have full control of where we want to have noise and where not. All over noisy is not what I like. I like to add a little bit of noise in the dark parts of my painting, sometimes on bright parts as well, and where I have a lot of detail already. It supports the detail. Cool. So just some adjustments here with the gradient curves. Let the image pop a little bit more. That is cool. I like it bright and intense. It's almost glowing. So now let's add some special effects. We want to make our grass glow. And I know grass is not glowing in reality, but where it's somehow possible, where it looks cool, I like to add some glow effects. So that is a start, just brighten up the colors a little bit more with the overlay mask. And it's just something I try out now, but maybe a few flying leaves would be also cool. I don't know if it fits. Let's just try it. So I select a few leaf-like shapes with a lasso tool, block in some color, and now add some color with a soft round brush, some brighter color from the direction of the light and some darker colors on the opposite side, and just see how it looks. I did a safe copy here because I'm using the smudge tool now, the smudge finger, and I don't want to mess it up, so let's see if it looks good or not. I feel like this smudge would be a little bit too much. Maybe it works if I erase here and there a few parts of the leaves. But all over it seems too soft. I mean, in contrast to the grass I painted already, it doesn't fit to the rest of the painting. Yeah. Okay, now this big smudge finger. Just swipe it one time over all the leaves, and it creates a kind of flow that the leaves are all flying in the same direction. And now I just try to cut a few parts away to crop the leaves that they have a few sharp edges at least, to unify it with an all-over painting. Yeah, I like it. Looks cool. Alright, I feel like we could add some glow here, some extra particles to make the whole thing look a little bit more magical or pop a little bit more. That's something I always like to add. Actually, it doesn't matter what kind of object or what kind of material, a little bit of glow, a little bit of the illusion that it reflects the light. It gets hit by its... I like it. It's always nice. So, I have a special brush for that. It's called my Glow Dust brush, I think. And it's just a brush. It's very easy to make, just a few points together, and if I paint with it, then there will be some particles. Very little. And what I do then is add a little bit of glow with a soft round brush again, very low opacity, and add in the same color, just a little bit more bright, some glow here and there. And then you can smudge it to make it softer if you want. I like to have the particles a little bit more sharp, but what you also can do is just erase it with the soft round brush in delete mode. I like it. So, I hope you learned something. I hope I could help you a little bit with your problems painting grass, and see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.